Welcome, brave souls, to a world where fear takes some truly unusual shapes. We're all familiar with the common phobias: heights, spiders, public speaking. But today, we're diving into the quirkiest, most surprising phobias you never knew existed. Imagine a world where beards, relatives, or even dinner conversations are lurking threats, ready to send shivers down your spine. In this journey through the bizarre, we'll uncover 20 of the strangest phobias, guaranteed to make you laugh, gasp, and maybe even appreciate your own, normal, fears just a little bit more. One. Phobia, fear of relatives. Phobia is the fear of one's relatives, which can make family gatherings and holidays an anxiety-filled experience. For some, this phobia arises from strained relationships, conflicts, or traumatic experiences with certain family members. People with phobia often feel uneasy or stressed in situations where family interactions are expected, avoiding gatherings or isolating themselves. This phobia can impact their social lives and create feelings of guilt or shame about avoiding loved ones. It's a deeply personal phobia that complicates familial bonds and interactions. 2. Nomophobia, fear of being without mobile phone service. This is the phobia for those glued to their screens who'd rather leave home without their pants than their phone. The mere idea of no signal sends a shiver down their spines faster than a horror movie marathon. Nomophobes get chills just thinking about missing a text or, heaven forbid, losing a Wi-Fi connection. To them, airplane mode is a one-way ticket to isolation, practically prehistoric in its horrors. 3. Xanthophobia, fear of the color yellow. Nothing says sunshine and happiness quite like a color that some people think should come with a warning label. People with xanthophobia shudder at the sight of anything remotely yellow, from daffodils to rubber ducks. It's a full-body cringe at a shade most people only associate with daisies and dandelions. 4. Turophobia, fear of cheese. To turophobes, cheese is less comfort food and more terror on a platter. They see a cheese platter and immediately start plotting an escape route. Melted cheese? It's like watching a horror flick. Whether it's cheddar or brie, the sight alone can cause them to run like mozzarella stretched on pizza. 5. Omphallophobia, fear of belly buttons. Belly buttons might be a reminder of our connection to our moms, but for omphalophobes, they're terrifying tiny vortexes. The idea of touching one, or worse, someone else's, is enough to spark sheer panic. Crop tops? Forget it. For them, every pool party is a battlefield where belly buttons lurk everywhere. 6. Pogonophobia, fear of beards. Pogonophobia is an irrational fear of beards or facial hair. Some sufferers might be triggered by the sight, smell, or texture of beards, often associating them with uncleanliness or intimidation. This phobia can stem from a negative experience or a cultural association of beards with danger or aggression. Those with pogonophobia may avoid men with facial hair. This fear can affect social interactions, leading to uncomfortable or awkward situations. 7. Hylophobia, fear of trees or forests. Nature lovers, meet your match. For hylophobes, trees aren't serene, they're suspicious stalkers just waiting to unleash terror. Camping? A walk in the woods? That's practically the plot of a horror movie. Every leaf rustle becomes the sound of impending doom, and the only thing they see in a forest is a one-way ticket to panic. 8. Isoptrophobia, fear of mirrors. Isoptrophobia is the fear of mirrors and reflections, causing sufferers to avoid reflective surfaces altogether. This phobia often stems from superstition, such as a belief in ghosts or that mirrors can trap souls. People with isoptrophobia may avoid looking in mirrors at night, fearing they might see something supernatural or sinister. They may also experience anxiety when looking at their own reflection, feeling as if they're seeing a stranger. It's a deeply unsettling phobia that can impact daily grooming and self-perception. 9. Geliophobia, fear of laughter. People with geliophobia aren't exactly the life of the party. To them, laughter is a sign that something's gone terribly wrong, like hearing ominous music in a scary movie. They cringe at sitcoms and comedy clubs, fearing the eruption of laughter like most fear thunderstorms. To them, humor is a dangerous, uncontrollable force, and laughter is its sinister weapon. 10. Phobophobia, fear of phobias. Phobophobia is a phobia of, well, phobias. These folks spend more time worrying about what they might fear than fearing actual things. They're basically scared of being scared, turning daily life into a labyrinth of what-ifs. If you laughed, cringed, or discovered a phobia you never knew you had, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe, because missing out on our next video? Now that's something to be afraid of. Cacophobia, fear of ugliness. For cacophobes, ugliness is more terrifying than a spider in the shower. They go out of their way to surround themselves with beauty, dreading anything that might fall short of aesthetic. A messy room gives them panic attack. They'll take pretty over practical any day, shuddering at the sight of cracked paint or asymmetrical designs. 12. Allodoxophobia, fear of opinions. Allodoxophobes can't stand the thought of opinions, unless they're their own. Group discussions feel like a minefield, with everyone's opinion being a potential bomb. Social media? Not a chance. They'd rather live without Wi-Fi than read a comment section. They tiptoe through conversations, hoping to avoid anyone with a strong opinion on, well, anything. For them, every opinion is a potential disagreement they'd rather dodge. 13. Ablutophobia, fear of bathing. For people with ablutophobia, the idea of taking a bath is as horrifying as a haunted house tour. Showering feels like a trap, and getting wet? Unthinkable. These folks get creative with dry shampoo and deodorant, stretching the boundaries of acceptable hygiene. Rainy days are practically apocalyptic. If cleanliness is next to godliness, they're perfectly happy keeping their distance. 14. Chronophobia, fear of time passing. Chronophobes are the ultimate anti-clock watchers. Every tick of the second hand feels like a countdown to doom, and calendars might as well be horror novels. They panic at the thought of wasted time, and obsess over staying productive every second. For them, even thinking about tomorrow feels like too much. Ironically, all their worrying ends up eating into precious time. 15. Vestophobia, fear of clothing. People with vestophobia probably think casual Fridays are the best invention ever. The mere thought of putting on clothes, especially tight ones, makes them squirm. They'd live in a permanent pajama party if they could, only changing clothes under extreme duress. Closet shopping? That's like entering a dungeon of horrors. 16. Optophobia, fear of opening one's eyes. Optophobes live in a world of self-imposed darkness, fearing what they might see if they actually, opened their eyes. For them, every eyelid lift is a high-stakes game of peekaboo. They avoid horror movies, sunsets, and surprise parties for fear of what might suddenly come into view. They'd happily wear sleep masks 24/7 if society would let them. 17. Decidophobia, fear of making decisions. For decidophobes, even choosing a pizza topping can feel like a life or death decision. The pressure to make the right choice is so intense they'd rather let someone else pick for them. From picking socks in the morning to ordering coffee, they dread any form of selection. 18. Hippopotamonstrosesquipedaliophobia, fear of long words. Ironically, hippopotamonstrosesquipedaliophobia makes big spelling bees feel like horror shows. For them, every long word is a potential minefield of embarrassment and confusion. Simple words are their best friends, and they'd be happy with a two-syllable vocabulary. 19. Ergophobia, fear of work. To ergophobes, the office is a haunted house, and every spreadsheet is a ghost ready to drain their soul. They dread Mondays like others fear heights or spiders, with each work email practically screaming, beware. Performance reviews are their idea of a horror movie, and they'd rather face a zombie apocalypse than an upcoming deadline. They probably have a countdown to retirement set up, and they're just getting started. 20. Dipnophobia, fear of dinner conversations. Dipnophobes approach dinner parties like they're headed for a dentist appointment. Sitting at a dinner table, they dread the thought of small talk about weather, work, or Aunt Linda's latest adventure in gardening. When someone tries to chat, they'd rather stuff their mouth with breadsticks than risk a conversation. To them, silence at the table is golden, and talking, well, that's a side dish they didn't order. So which of these phobias do you suffer from? Let us know in the comments below.